What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we're back again with another Transformer figure review. And today, excuse me, I just sneezed a whole ton before I started this shoot. But seriously, today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Bouldercrash. Now, this is basically Hasbro and Takara's take on the Rock Lords, and we already showed off Magnius, but today we've got Bouldercrash. This was the last Bouldercrash that was at my local Target, and this is probably the only Bouldercrash that I'm ever going to see. So, anywho, really quickly, we're going to remove this guy off to the side here. We're going to take a look at the packaging, and the packaging looks somewhat decent. This is the thing that I don't like about this packaging, is that you only get Bouldercrash in vehicle mode on his artworked packaging, but then again, this guy's probably the weakest out of the armorizers so far. But on the back here, you do get him in robot mode, and you get him as Bouldercrash, and he does have one feature that most of the core classes, like the for example, something I'm very pleased with this core class, more than I am with the other core class. At the very least, they had some form of gimmick going on with this thing. Like, for example, here, it shows animated Optimus Prime holding Infernac as a sword, but that's not who we're going to give it to. But anyways, that's basically it for the packaging, and here we're going to come back on into the figure. And yeah, I like this figure, but also don't like this figure. I like this figure because out of all of the Rock Lords that they're redoing, this one's the one that's actually got some detail on it, you know, some lava-looking detail on there. And yeah, I definitely do like that. Now, there is one feature that we're going to get into, but we're going to get into it at the final scale comparison, and before we transform him. So, it is the season for allergies, folks. Get your Mucinex on. Anyways, so point being with this guy is that he is a Rock Lord, as I said previous, and I can agree with Hasbro to an extent about trying to give these things their own alt mode, but does it have to actually be a vehicle? Like, do you have to actually give it 3 wheels, 4 wheels? You actually have to give it wheels or a propeller, or heck, I'd even take it as, dude, I would honestly take it as a busted up thing instead of this. But I'm not going to complain. So, as I said, Armorizer, we're not going to get into that till afterwards, but anywho, here he is with his Wavemate Legacy United Core Class Beast Machines Universe Cheetor. Check out that review in the description down below. Here he is with Legacy United Tasmania Kid. Here he is with our previous review, Animated Universe Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Quite possibly one of my favorites of the Legacy United line so far. And finally, here he is with Magnius, the only other Rock Lord that is so far going on. Now, I said this guy is an armorizer, and his armorizer gimmick is so brain dead, stupid, simple. I can literally do it with my eyes closed. Literally, just take this and fold it forward till you hear it click, and this is seriously molded into the figure. So there's a peg here, and you can totally have him holding Bouldercrash like that. You just gonna hold that strap on, or what's going on here? So anyways, I do not like this at all. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's quite possibly the most dumbest gimmick I've ever seen on this thing ever. And so we're going to remove that, and we're going to fold this back down, because we're going to get into transformation with this thing, because I am so over the armorizer feature. So in order to transform this thing, it actually does have some parts forming, and for a modern figure to have parts forming, I can't believe they actually did this. You're going to seriously want to remove this, and you're going to then take this and you're going to fold it back as you did in vehicle mode to have him in his sword mode. And then you're going to take this and just move it off to the side for the moment. And now you're left with this. So to transform the rest of this, we're going to start with the head. Take this, the front section, and rotate it all the way down. And then take the motorcycle section, just untab it for now. You don't want to do anything too fancy with it yet. And then take this little panel and just bring it on down. There we go. And then take these leg pieces here, and you're going to untab them from a slot here. Big fat ass tab there. You're going to bring the leg down like so, and you're going to do basically just kind of angle it out just a little bit. Do the same thing on the other side with the other leg, and you're going to just do that. Now, we're going to get the arms taken care of, lift them up. They do have a tab piece that just kind of goes into this little tiny clip right on in there. Like, tab section, clip right there. And then that will just free them up. And then once you hear it tab in place, then you're good. You know you're golden. Do the same thing on the other side. Lift the elbow up on that ball joint. Lift it, bring it around till you hear it clip in place. And now you may be thinking you're done, but you definitely are not. You're going to somehow get this waist section to rotate, and then it's like you got to move the legs in order to get it done, and then straighten it all out, and then you can come back to this motorcycle top section here, and then you just bring it back all the way like so. And then we're going to come back to this section here. There's a tiny little peg right there that's going to go right into his tiny little hands, and that's going to just peg on like so. Like that. Straighten it all out. And there you have Legacy United Core Class Infernac Universe Bouldercrash. Now, I like the robot mode a whole heck of a lot more than I do like the vehicle mode, okay? The robot mode, knocking it out of the park. Look at this detail. Look at this detail here. I mean, they could have just left it like they did for the other one, for Magnus. They could have left it the way they did for Magnus, but they didn't. They gave this guy a little bit more paint. And to a little bit more paint, they gave him as they should have. Because these guys came from the magma and everything of that nature. So, anywho, let's get him into some scale comparisons, because we all love them scale comparisons. Y'all know that. So, here he is next to Beast Machines Universe Cheetor. Legacy United's Beast Machines Universe Cheetor. Let's get those in for a good scale comparison. There we go. Here he is next to Tasmania Kid, his other wave mate. Here he's with our previous review. Here he is next to animated Bumblebee. Deluxe Bumblebee, excuse me. Not Deluxe Universe. Good job telling Santa one. And finally, here he is with his other Rock Lord buddy. Here he is next to Magnus. And as you can clearly see, one of these got a little bit more love than the other. It was this one. But I'm not going to deny I do like this guy's mold a lot better than I like this guy's mold. So, anywho, final thoughts on this little dude. Well, I can't really say it's something you should go pick up. I mean, if you're going to be a completionist with the Rock Lords, then obviously, yeah, you need to go pick it up. But if you're looking to just get something for little Timmy's birthday, you know, who's turning that magical number 8, I don't think this is definitely worth you $10. I think if you're going to do that, I think it would be worth maybe another $10. It would be worth maybe another $10 to $12 to get this. So this would be a better gift. However, if all you have is $10 to use, and in this economy I don't blame you, this guy is definitely the one to go for. I mean, it's definitely not something that I would just rush out and say go get, but it's definitely something that's unique and cool. I just don't appreciate the fact that Hasbro keep trying to force us to believe that rocks can now be vehicles. So this is not SpongeBob. You cannot tell us to drive rocks. So, or correction, you can't tell us to drive boulders. I will leave that for the people down below to do with as they please. So, anywho, final thoughts on this guy. I don't like the vehicle mode for sure, but I definitely do like the robot mode. So vehicle mode gets a few dings because of where it stands in my ranking system, but the overall robot mode gets a higher ranking than it would normally because of the trashy vehicle mode and how amazing it looks in robot mode. I just don't appreciate the backpack either. This mess is not doing it for me either. So, anywho, final thoughts and final numbers. Final thoughts being, love the design of the thought process of the Rock Lords. I definitely like the robot mode for sure. I'm going to give this thing a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. Terrible vehicle mode, terrible backpack, terrible transformation, but it definitely scores higher with the detailing. I like the robot mode design. I definitely like the ingenuity of the sword. I think it's a clever thing. I just don't think it was executed perfectly well, but who am I to speak? Definitely like the paint job and all that, like I said. Yeah, that's it. So anyways, this is Thomas Fennel 1 saying, do not forget to check out Planet Toys, a world built by collectors, where if you do sign up with them now, you can get yourself a 10% discount off your first purchase. What? First purchase? Oh, yeah. So, anywho, this is Thomas Fennel 1 saying, do not forget to check out Optination Reviews, Beastman Reviews, Riveted Reviews, Jordy's Rail Videos, Patrick with the Y, iStar552, Bravely GG, and Take Along Productions, as I know they all do some amazing work and have some amazing work in the pipelines. And this is Thomas Fennel 1 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Do not forget it.